Hi there and welcome back to another episode of Budget Taker Show, brought to you by Budget Gamers for Budget Gamers. Speaking of budget, I've got the ultimate test here today. What will I be testing? Will I be testing a 5700 XT? Hell no. Will I be testing a RTX 2060? No thank you. It's too new. Even a Ryzen 3900X, please, old school. No, what I will be testing here today is a Q9400. This CPU is currently celebrating its teen years, so it just made 13 years old. I mean, that is incredible. I'll be testing the CPU for you here today. Now, the idea is to play 7 modern titles, or at least as modern as I can get it, seeing that the CPU is 13 years old. I'll be looking at testing games like Warzone, Cyberpunk, GTA 5, Rocket League just for fun. Maybe CRSED, which is a popular BR, Fortnite. Speaking of BR's, Fortnite I'll definitely be testing. Maybe something like Someday You'll Return or Prey, or something that's very demanding. Someday You'll Return might be on the top of my list, seeing that this is a 2020 title. I might be wrong with a year or two. For argument's sake, let's just say 2019 title. So yes, I'll be testing 7 games on this 13-year-old CPU. It's going to be fun. So stick around and let's get to it. Hi guys, so the first game that I'm going to test for you on this amazing quad-to-quad Q9400 is Someday You'll Return. I don't think anyone will be familiar with this game. However, I've found it visually extremely good. Now, I left it to custom, as this game probably applied the settings according to my hardware. So yeah, let's just start a new game. I've completed this game, of course, many of times, but yeah, let's start a new game and just see how it looks and the feel for it. Okay, finally, after 3 hours of driving, we finally made it to our position. I'm actually glad we're outside so that you can see visually how good this game looks. But yeah, for the Q9400 quad-to-quad, not bad. I mean, this is really not bad. Yes, the RX 580 helps a bit with the 8GB of VRAM and the 2100 MHz clock, but otherwise than that, pretty solid. No frame stutters, no frame lag. I mean, what I can do is, if you're a 60 frames per second type of person, then what I can do is I can set everything to high. Put off the VSync. Let's see how much we are getting now. Yes. So if you put everything to high, which is still amazing. I mean, it's a bit of the mist is gone, but I don't mind for that. So look at this, above 60 frames a second. The lowest I've seen now was 61 frames a second, and this is there we go, some drops, that's okay. 54, 56, 60 frames, not bad. The CPU is running at 70%. The GPU is obviously maxing out, which is good. It means it's using more of the GPU than anything else. Look at that scenery, amazing. Cutscene is dropping to 30, but I guess that's normal. So the next game I'm bringing to you is Cuisine Royale 2nd Edition. This game is a very fun BR to play at the very moment, and it's not that intensive. However, this is a 2017 title. The re-release with a graphics update came in this year. So judging from that, if this Q9400 can still run this title after the new update, I'm pretty confident you won't struggle with any of your games. So let's try it out. Obviously, I had to set everything to minimum. Whoa, my thing is freaking out there at the top. What is it doing? I need to see you. Come on. Oh, it's here at the bottom. Left bottom, you can sort of see. I don't know why it's freaking out like that. Yeah, that's very odd, hey? So far, this game is running at a solid 60 frames per second. I'll just dab in and out now and again for you to see. I mean, that's not bad considering this is a 13-year-old CPU. I keep mentioning it, but it's just so impressive how the hardware versus games actually holds out. And I mean, this is pretty solid. I mean, for a battle royale, 60 frames per second, yes, obviously you probably can't play competitively at this rate. Maybe you can, I don't know, some people might have more skill than me. I prefer up to 90 frames to 120 on good resolution, you know, to pinpoint more accurately. But otherwise than that, if you're just looking to have some fun, this is definitely a very good playable experience. Yeah. The third game for today is, of course, Fortnite. Let's see how this Q9400 performs in this game. Now, I know with the latest updates, this game has become a lot laggy and frame drops. I even tried running this on a 2nd gen i5, which is good enough to play Cyberpunk at 60 frames a second. However, it still has micro stutters on this game. So hopefully, I really hope the Q9400 will not lag. So yeah, fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. We're seeing 60 frames a second, 50 frames per second. Right top corner will show you the lows and the highs. So 50 low, 77 high. So far it's not looking too bad. Obviously when loading into the game it was a bit trash, but once you're in it doesn't seem to be that bad. Obviously the doors and everything look like crap, but we're not here to get the best visuals. We're just here to make the game run properly so that you can play it. I even think dabbing down on the graphics card is not going to have a huge performance impact, as the graphics card is idling at best. It like jumps between 6 and 90%. Like, I mean, and it's running at 40 degrees Celsius, so that would indicate this graphics card is not even being used at the moment. What is this? I don't know what this is. I haven't played this game in ages. Whatever. I must say, so far for a 13-year-old CPU, not doing too bad. Obviously, the cores are at 100%, 60 degrees Celsius right through. The maximum temperature on the CPU is 71.6 degrees Celsius. That's pretty, how would you say? It's a pretty odd number, a precise number, 71.6 degrees. But yeah, that's what it's rated at. I'm pretty sure if you go to 72, 73, nothing will happen. Nothing bizarre will happen, but keeping it at 60 means we're way down from the maximum temperature. So the fourth game I'm bringing for you is, of course, GTA 5. Now, the reason for GTA 5 is because this CPU would have been only about 6 years old when this game came out. Now, there was obviously a bit of graphics update in between and so on and so forth. However, I would still like this game a lot, and I wanted to show you how this game performs on this CPU. Now, from the graphics section, I turned everything mostly to high and full where I could, as this graphics card can take the load. So let's see how it performs. We're getting about 32 frames per second, 27. Ooh, I might have misjudged the CPU performance, but nonetheless, let us see how it holds out. Come on, dude, are you going to get into the car, man? I'm not looking for spectacular performance here. Anything above 30 frames per second on this graphic settings is fine with me. So yeah, let's see how this game holds out. Whoa, the graphics are freaking out. We're driving on no road. Whoa. Okay, there the road loaded in. I think this graphic setting might be a bit high for the CPU. So let's do this. Graphics. Here and there a spike, nothing to be concerned about. I'm pretty sure if I can tweak the graphics a bit, I'll get some of these stutters away, definitely. Whoa, this game is completely freaking out, guys. I'm driving on no roads. driving on the roads. This guy's hanging in the air. Luckily my map is not disappearing, which helps a lot. I do not know what is going on with this game, but it's struggling to load textures. Pew! Whoa, I kind of smashed this car now. And goodbye, people. Goodbye. I'm driving on Quicksand Road. Game number 5 is, of course, Rocket League. Now, this game is not very intensive, graphical intensive, nor CPU intensive. I just thought it's a fun game to play, so might as well test it. Boom. Oh yeah, this is running solid. Let's see here. The frames is capped at 60. I want to see as high as what we can go. Okay. We're getting 120 frames per second. That's to be expected. Even at ultra graphics, this game would still run amazingly well. Hi there everyone. So this is the 6th game I'm bringing you today, and this one is called Warzone. Now, I couldn't get Riva Tuner to lock on Warzone at the current setting. I do not know why. However, I'm not keen on exiting this game as it was super difficult to start it in the first place. I kept getting errors and I just don't think the CPU is compatible with this game. However, I did manage to get it open. So the way I got this game to work is running it in safe mode, turning down the resolution scale and manipulating a couple of files in the file set of the game. Now, as you can see, the resolution looks really bad. I don't care. I just want to play this game and actually see if it's going to work. I would have really liked to show you guys the frames per second, but I can try and judge it. I'm normally good with this stuff. This looks around 40 to 50 frames per second, if I can look at it that way. As you can see, the resolution, everything is turned right down. I'm just surprised that this CPU is actually running this game. I'm probably expecting to see a lot of frame drops very soon. So yeah, let's see what's happening. Whoa, you can see these are bots. Oh crap, whoa, need to reload first before I go into a fight. Jeez, man. So far it's not bad. There's a couple of micro stutters here and there, and I'm not saying that this game is peaking at 60 frames per second. It might be around 40, 50 max. At some stages, it feels to me like we're dropping to about 20 to 30, which is not bad considering the CPU is 13 years old, and I keep mentioning it because this is quite impressive. However, it did disappoint me a bit on GTA. Maybe GTA is just not optimized for that CPU. Maybe there's not enough CPU support. Why are you running? Why are you running? And you ran, but now where are you? Are you serious, yo? No, I should never do that. Verdict, game runs okay, I must say. However, I won't recommend it because this was very difficult. It took me at least an hour or two to figure out how to run this game on the CPU. And that being said, it does feel a bit glitchy and a bit laggy. But otherwise than that, not bad. It's really impressed. I'm really impressed that this game can actually run on the CPU, giving the factors. So yeah, on to our next game. So the 7th and last game I'm bringing for you is obviously Cyberpunk. Now I managed to get this game running after a bit of tweaks and actually struggling a bit. And it is actually running not that bad. I did do a previous recording on the performance of this game. However, my screen never captured. So that was a bit of a waste. However, I'm back. I was running around a bit, but
yeah, I can just give you guys the feel. So in my previous test, I saw lows of 38, which we'll probably see now again, and highs of 45. It doesn't really seem like it's climbing over 45 though. It's 39. Like I've mentioned, the CPU is running on above 90%, and my graphics card peaked up to 100%. Now that would suggest that this game is using a lot more of my GPU than my CPU performance. And I'm actually quite impressed that this old, very, very old CPU can run this game. Even open it. Yes, I did have to do some tweaks here and there. However, I did manage to get it up and running. This is of course the lowest setting possible. Everything is on the low. The resolution scale is on 90%. And this is at 1600 by 1050 resolution. So it might be doing 136, what was it? 1360 by 768, if I remember correctly, which is still not bad. I mean, this actually runs a bit better than the previous video I did on Cyberpunk with a server core. However, that was only a GTX 650, which probably was the biggest impact on performance. I'm pretty sure if I popped in a 8GB RX 580, I would have seen similar or even better performance. Now, like I've mentioned in my previous one, which obviously you guys didn't see, is that the fact that this game runs on this core, but the GTA 5 didn't, is pretty interesting. I don't know if I must just play around with GTA 5 and just see if I can get the graphics or even just tweak the game a bit. However, for this purpose of this video, I don't think it's necessary, as I wanted to give you guys a true feel for the game. So GTA 5 is definitely not working as well as this game. Anyways guys, that wraps up this benchmark for today on the Q9400. CPU released in 2008 and it's still playing games. Now, not as good as your latest CPUs, of course, you can't compare the two. However, judging from 13 years old, and this is not even the biggest core to quad you could have bought. The biggest one you could have bought is a Q9550, which I would think would be able to run each and every game at least 30 to 40 frames per second. It's really amazing that this core can still run this game. So thank you for watching, and I shall see you guys soon.